Good morning, dear students. Now, in this lecture, we are going to start chapter 6, structure of plant cell. So, as you know that the cell is a structural and functional unit of living organisms. All living organisms are made up of cell. So, cell determines the life of the living organisms. So, in this lecture, we are going to study the structural building block of all living organisms, that is the cell. More precisely, we are dealing with the plant cell only. So the introduction to this chapter: living world consists of plant kingdom and animal kingdom. All the living organisms, for example, plants, animals, and even microorganisms are made up of cells. They may be single celled, for example, bacteria, a green alga like chlorella, while higher plants as well as animals are multicellular. The cells are the basic structural and functional units of a plants and animals. The cells provides definite shape, size and structure to all the living organisms. Not only this, but the cells in plant and animal body carry out different types of functions and keep them active and alive. So cell are of two type. Some organisms are single celled, some organisms are single celled, for example bacteria, the green alga like chlorella, while the higher plants as well as animals are multicellular. The cells are the basic structural and the functional units of plants and animals. The cells provide definite shape, size and structure to all the living organisms. In addition to this, the cells perform the different functions and keep the organism active and alive. The cells are of two types: eukaryotic cell and prokaryotic cells, on the basis of which the organisms are also known as eukaryotes and prokaryotes. The organisms having eukaryotic cells are known as eukaryotes and the others as prokaryotes. Mostly the plant and animal cells are eukaryotic. Each cell of eukaryotic organisms contain different functional structures which are collectively known as cell organelles. These are found only in eukaryotic cells, while the bacteria and archaea like prokaryotes do not have any type of cell organelles. The cell organelles are membrane bound structures having distinct structure, shape and functions. Plant cells differ from the animal cells by having distinct cell wall made up of cellulose having chloroplast and central vacuole. Plant cell lacks centriole and cilia or the flagella. So the cilia and flagella that are found in the animal cell, which are the locomotory organ, they are required for movement. So the organisms are of two types, eukaryotic and prokaryotic, on the basis of the type of cell they possesses. Mostly the plant and animal cells are eukaryotic. Each cell of the eukaryotic organelle contains different functional structures which are known as cell organelles. They are also called as cytoplasmic organelles. These are found only in the eukaryotic cells, while the bacteria do not have any type of cell organelles. The cell organelles are membrane bound structures having definite functions. Plant cell differ from the animal cell by having a distinct cell wall made up of cellulose. It also having chloroplast and central vacuole. Plant cell lacks centriole and locomotory organ like cilia or flagella. So this is about the eukaryotic cell and the prokaryotic cell. Now here we are going to study in detail the structure of the plant cell. The plant cell possesses the outermost limiting membrane called as the cell wall. Next to this is the plasma membrane. In addition to this, the cell possesses the amorphous material called as the cytoplasm. Inside the cytoplasm, various cell organelles are present such as mitochondria, endoplasmic reticulum, nucleus, Golgi complex, vacuole, peroxisome, lysosome, ribosome. There are two types of endoplasmic reticulum, rough endoplasmic reticulum and smooth endoplasmic reticulum. So these are the various cell organelles that has been present in the cell. So cell possesses cell wall, plasma membrane, mitochondria, chloroplast, then endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi complex, lysosome, centrosome, smooth endoplasmic reticulum, rough endoplasmic reticulum, ribosome. So these are the various cell organelles. In addition to this, it possesses centrally located nucleus. Inside the nucleus, there is presence of the nucleolus. So these different parts of the cell we are going to study in this lecture. So one by one we are going to start the structure of the plant cell. So here we are discussing eukaryotic cell. The plant cell is the eukaryotic cell. So the first one is the cell wall. The cell wall is the limiting membrane. It provides protection. It is relatively thick and made up of cellulose, hemicellulose and pectin. So in case of plant, the cell wall, which is rigid, it is relatively thick and made up of cellulose, hemicellulose and pectin. The cell wall is protective layer of every cell, providing structural support and protection to the plant cell. The rigid thick layer of the cell wall is found outside the plasma membrane surrounding the cell. Beside the cellulose, it also contains protein and some polysaccharides. The pores found in the cell wall allow water and nutrient to move in and out of the cell. The cell wall also protects the cell from bursting when water enters in the cell. This cell wall is always known as primary cell wall, but some cells may also have secondary cell wall made up of lignin. So the cell wall, which is a protective in function, which it is rigid thick layer found outside the plasma membrane that surrounds the cell. Beside the cellulose, it also contains protein and some polysaccharides. The pores that are found on the cell wall allow water and nutrient to move in and out of the cell. The cell wall also protects the cell from bursting when water enters in the cell. When water enters in the cell increases in size. There is an increase in the turgidity of the cell. So the cell wall protects the cell from bursting when water enters inside the cell. This cell wall is also known as primary cell wall when it is made up of cellulose, hemicellulose and pectin. But in some cells, the cell wall may have secondary cell wall made up of lignin. Okay, so this is all about the cell wall. Next to this is the plasma membrane. Inside the cell wall, there is a presence of the plasma membrane which is surrounding the cell. Every plant cell is enclosed by plasma membrane. It is also known as a cell membrane or cytoplasmic membrane. This plasma membrane is made up of lipid bilayer and proteins. So proteins are sandwiched in between the lipid bilayer. Plasma membrane is selectively permeable, allow the entry and exit of selective molecules according to the cell requirements. So plasma membrane is selectively permeable. Permeability, it is the ability of the plasma membrane or the cell membrane to allow substances to pass through it. So the plasma membrane is selectively permeable. It allows entry and exit of selective molecules according to the cell requirement. The plasma membrane is made up of lipid bilayer and protein. Every plant cell is enclosed by the plasma membrane. So this is the cell wall and the plasma membrane, which are the limiting membranes of the cell, which determine the shape, size of the cell. Next to this is the cytoplasm, the jelly-like amorphous substance distributed throughout the cell between the cell membrane and nucleus. It is called as the cytoplasm. The cytoplasm is mainly composed of water, organic and inorganic compounds. Cytoplasm is most essential part of the cell in which different cell organelles are embedded. So these cell organelles are also called as cytoplasmic organelles because they are distributed in the cytoplasm or they are present in the cytoplasm. So cytoplasm is a gel-like substance that has been distributed throughout the cell between the cell membrane or the plasma membrane and nucleus. Cytoplasm is mainly composed of water and inorganic compounds. It is also called as the cell sap in physiology. So cytoplasm, it is composed of water, organic and inorganic compounds. Cytoplasm is the most essential part of the cell in which different cell organelles are embedded. Also, the many physiological or the metabolic reactions takes place in the cytoplasm because cytoplasm contains many enzymes responsible to carry various metabolic reactions. It is the main site for most of the chemical reactions that takes place in the cell. So cytoplasm is the reaction center in the cell where various enzymes responsible to carry various metabolic reactions are present. Cytoplasm is the most essential part of the cell in which different cell organelles like mitochondria, chloroplast, ribosomes, endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi complex, lysosomes are embedded. So this is all about the cytoplasm. Next to this is the nucleus. So nucleus, it is made up of nucleoplasm, nucleolus, nuclear membrane or nuclear envelope with nuclear pores on it. So nucleus, it is made up of nucleoplasm. It is like the cytoplasm which is present inside the membrane bound structure, that is the nucleoplasm. Next is the nucleolus, nuclear membrane like the plasma membrane or nuclear envelope with pores. These are nuclear pores on it. Plant cell has eukaryotic or true nucleus. Eu means true karyon nucleus. It possesses true nucleus having double membrane, that is the nuclear membrane. It is the largest cell organelle which function as the control center of the cellular activities and containing the genetic material of the cell, that is the DNA. So DNA is found in the nucleus that has been formed the chromosomes. The chromosomes possesses genes. So DNA is a genetic material of the cell and which is the nucleus is the largest cell organelle which function as a control central of the cellular activities. So all the cellular activities that has been controlled by the nucleus. Nucleus is a dark rounded body surrounded by nuclear membrane. It is porous, having nuclear pores and acting as a wall between cytoplasm and nucleus itself. So the nuclear membrane which is porous and it acting as a wall between, it is acting as a limiting membrane between cytoplasm and nucleus itself. Within the nucleus there are tiny spherical bodies called as nucleolus which carries chromosomes. The hereditary characters carried by the genes they are present on the chromosome. Nucleus controls the characters and the functions of a cell. So nucleus, which is the control central of the cellular activities, it contains the DNA which is a genetic material. The nucleus is made up of nucleoplasm, nucleolus, nuclear membrane or nuclear envelope with nuclear pores. The nuclear membrane, which is a wall between cytoplasm and nucleus itself, and the nuclear membrane is porous. The nucleus is a dark rounded body surrounded by nuclear membrane. The hereditary characters carried by the genes are present on the chromosomes, and these chromosomes are present in a tiny spherical bodies known as nucleolus. Nucleus controls the characters and the functions of a cell. So nucleus is called as the control central of the cell which controls the various characters and the functions of the cell. Nucleus contain genetic material, that is a DNA. So this is all about the cytoplasm and nucleus. Next to this is the Central vacuole. So most of the plant cells have central vacuole, that is the empty space which is surrounded by a membrane known as tonoplast. It occupies generally 30% of the cell volume and sometimes up to 90% of cell volume. The vacuoles are very common in parenchyma cells of aquatic plants. So to float on the water surface, the vacuoles are present, which are the empty spaces. So due to which the aquatic plants floats on the surface of the waters. Vacuoles are mostly defined as storage bubbles of irregular shapes distributed in the cell. They are fluid filled organelles enclosed by membrane. So most of the plant cells have central vacuoles which is surrounded by a membrane known as tonoplast. It occupies generally 30% of the cell volume and sometimes 90% of the aquatic 90% of the cell volume. The vacuoles are very common in parenchyma cells of aquatic plants. The vacuoles are mostly defined as storage bubbles of irregular shapes distributed in the cells. They are fluid filled organelles enclosed by membrane. So this is all about the central vacuole. Next to this is the vacuoles contain cell sap, which is a mixture of enzymes, iron, salts, etc. It sometimes stores toxic substances and protects the cells surviving of the cell. The vacuoles also store food and variety of nutrients required for the survival of the cell. So the vacuole that stores the toxic substances and protects the cell. The vacuole also store food material and variety of nutrients required for the survival of the cell. So this is all about the vacuole. Next to this is the endoplasmic reticulum. Endoplasmic reticulum is a network of membranous canals filled with fluid. Endoplasmic reticulum is a transport system of the cell involved in transporting material throughout the cell. There are two different types of endoplasmic reticulum: rough endoplasmic reticulum and smooth endoplasmic reticulum. So endoplasmic reticulum is a network of membranous canals filled with fluid. It is mainly function for transport. It forms a transport system of the cell involved in transporting material throughout the cell. There are two types of endoplasmic reticulum: rough endoplasmic reticulum and smooth endoplasmic reticulum. So one by one we are going to study both the types of endoplasmic reticulum. So this is the structure of endoplasmic reticulum. It is a network of a membranous canals filled with a fluid. Two types of endoplasmic reticulum: rough endoplasmic reticulum and smooth endoplasmic reticulum. So the difference between these is the presence of ribosomes on the rough endoplasmic reticulum. So rough endoplasmic reticulum, it is composed of cisternae, tubules and vesicles found throughout the cell. It is having many ribosomes on it, like a rough structure, hence known as rough endoplasmic reticulum. Its main function is protein synthesis. So rough endoplasmic reticulum has been involved in the process of protein synthesis because the ribosomes are present on its surface, so it gives a rough structure to the endoplasmic reticulum. So it is called as rough endoplasmic reticulum. It is composed of cisternae. So these are the cisternae. It also possesses tubules and vesicles. Next to this is the smooth endoplasmic reticulum. These are without ribosome, so they are smooth, hence are called as smooth endoplasmic reticulum. It is mainly involved in the synthesis of lipids and steroids. It also plays a significant role in detoxification of a cell. So rough endoplasmic reticulum has been involved in protein synthesis, while smooth endoplasmic reticulum is involved in the synthesis of lipids and steroids. So rough endoplasmic reticulum consists of ribosomes on it, like a rough structure, while smooth endoplasmic reticulum are without ribosome. So this is all about the endoplasmic reticulum. Now the mitochondria are called as the powerhouses of the cell, where the energy rich molecule ATP has been synthesized in the mitochondria. ATP is a cellular currency where that has been involved in the various metabolic reaction as the source of energy. The mitochondria are of various shapes and size. The mitochondria are double membranous structure having outer and inner membrane. The outer membrane of the mitochondria is smooth while the inner membrane is folded into cristae. So cristae are the infoldings present in the mitochondria. So here we can see the cristae. These are the cristae which are the inner foldings of the inner mitochondrial membrane. So mitochondria is a double membranous structure, possesses two membrane. This one is the outer membrane while this one is the inner membrane which has been infolded in the form of a cristae. The cristae are suspended into the matrix which contain many enzymes of the Krebs cycle. So the Krebs cycle which is involved in the aerobic respiration. The mitochondria also having its own DNA which is double stranded. It also possesses ribosomes and especially ATP synthase particles, that is the F0, F1 particles that has been stacked on the cristae. Mitochondria are known as the powerhouse of a cell as it is mainly involved in the synthesis of energy molecules ATP from ADP and inorganic phosphate. The process is known as oxidative phosphorylation where the ATP has been synthesized from ADP and inorganic phosphate. ATP is the cellular currency. So mitochondria is one of the important cell organelle which provides the cellular currency, that is the ATP. ATP is a energy rich molecule that has been produced from ADP and inorganic phosphate in the process of oxidative phosphorylation. The enzymes of Krebs cycle are present in the mitochondria. The mitochondria also have its own DNA. It is referred as mtDNA, mitochondrial DNA, and ribosome and ATP synthase particles that are involved in the oxidative phosphorylation. The mitochondria is a double membranous structure having outer and inner membrane. The outer membrane is smooth but the inner membrane is infolded into the cristae, and these cristae are suspended into the mitochondrial matrix. Okay, so this is the mitochondria structure of the mitochondria. Furthermore, the plastids, every plant cell contains the large number of plastids which are of three different types: green plastids, colored plastid and colorless plastids. Green plastid that are found in the plants, it is referred as chloroplast, while colored plastids other than green, these are referred as chromoplast, while the colorless or the white plastid, it is known as leucoplast. Leuco, colorless or the white plastids, while the colored chromoplast, green chloroplast. So there are the three different types of plastid. So first one is the chloroplast. Chloroplast, it is green colored plastids contain green pigments known as chlorophyll pigments. Chloroplast is also double membranous structure like the mitochondria having two envelopes, outer and inner membranes or the envelope. Each chloroplast have stroma or matrix and grana which are made up of thylakoid membranes put together like a pile of coins. So what happened here? We are dealing with the chloroplast. Chloroplast, it is a double membranous structure. This is the outer membrane and towards the inner side there is a presence of inner membrane. Okay. In addition to this, the chloroplast has stroma or matrix. So this is the stroma or the matrix. Each chloroplast has stroma or matrix and grana. Here is the grana which are made up of thylakoid membranes put together like a pile of coins. So here we can see the pile of coin. This is the single coin. Here the grana, it is made up of the thylakoid membrane. The light reactions of the photosynthesis takes place in the grana. So here this is the individual granum. Here collectively it is called as the grana. The light reaction of the photosynthesis takes place in the grana, which release the byproducts like oxygen, energy, molecules like ATP. Okay, so the main function of the chloroplast is photosynthesis, which takes place in the thylakoid membrane of the grana. Grana are made up of the thylakoid membranes that has been put together like a pile of coins. The photosynthesis that takes place in the grana of the chloroplast. Next to this is the chromoplast. Here, before chromoplast, we are going to study the stroma or matrix. It is actively engaged in the dark reaction of the photosynthesis, in which CO2 is fixed and reduced to glucose with the help of water and energy. So the light reactions takes place in the thylakoid membrane of the grana, while the dark reaction of the photosynthesis, where the Calvin cycle has been present, in which the energy rich molecule has been produced, that is the glucose, in the stroma or the matrix of the chloroplast. So stroma or the matrix, it is actively involved in the dark reactions of the photosynthesis. So what happens in the dark reaction? The CO2 has been fixed and it is reduced to glucose with the help of water and energy. Thus chloroplasts are solar harvesting molecules which convert solar energy into useful chemical or biological energy with the release of oxygen in the atmosphere. Chloroplasts also contain double-stranded circular DNA like the mitochondrial DNA. It also possesses 70S type of ribosomes and the enzymes required for carbohydrate synthesis. That is the dark reaction or the Calvin cycle. So this is all about the chloroplast, which is involved in the process of photosynthesis. Both light reaction and the dark reactions takes place in the chloroplast. The chloroplast is a structure that is involved in the conversion of solar energy into the useful chemical or the biological energy. The chloroplast also have its own DNA, which is a double-stranded circular DNA. Also 70S type of ribosomes and enzymes required for carbohydrate synthesis. Next to this is the chromoplasts and leucoplasts. Chromoplasts, these are the colored plastids. It includes fat soluble carotenoid pigments like xanthophylls, carotins, anthocyanins, etc. So these are the colored pigments, carotenoid pigments like xanthophylls, carotins, anthocyanins, etc., which impart beautiful color to the flower petals, fruit wall, variegated leaves, the different colored leaves, green, white patched leaves, seeds. This helps in pollination and fruit as well as seed dispersal. So the colored pigments that are found in the flower petals are useful during the process of pollination. Similarly, the fruit wall, seeds are also colored, so that are required for the fruit as well as seed dispersal. So this is all about the chromoplast. Next is the leucoplasts. These are colorless or white plastids found in underground parts like roots and tubers. They usually function as storage plastids. For example, amyloplast stores starch in potato. So the leucoplast, which is colorless or white plastids found in the underground parts like roots and tubers, which is mainly for storage function. For example, in case of potato, the amyloplast that stores the starch. So this is all about the plastids. Three different types of plastids: chloroplast, chromoplast and leucoplast. Then the ribosomes. So from ribosomes, the other remaining cell organisms we will study in the next lecture. Thank you. Stay home, be safe.